What's up, cutie click? What's up, cutie click? Okay. I am your host, California Cutie. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, let me tell you how it goes around here in these parts, in these California parts, okay? What we do over here, we get in here and we hit that like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, which is California Cutie, if you are not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. It is free 99, okay? It is a free way for you to support my channel. You know, if you want to be part of the cutie click, that's how you gonna be. You see what I'm saying? You become part of the cutie click. You know what I mean? Your family. So yeah, so hit the subscribe button and tell a friend you want to share it. If you like my content, maybe your cousin, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your best friend. She might, they might, he might like me as well. So go ahead and share me with your people and, help me get in these algorithms, okay? So I can get my channel not only monetized, but just, grow my channel, make my community a little bit bigger, a little bit better, okay? So yeah, y'all, I hope everybody is having a great day today. I'm having an excellent day. Well, yeah, so like I said, you just have to get, some of the business taken care of. And like I said, I really hope that you become a member, or not even a member, but, subscribe to my channel and become part of the cutie clip. And yeah, because we have some fun on these on over here on these parts. We do. We West. We we have fun over here. Okay. So yeah, y'all. I hope everybody, like I said, has been having a great day today. I hope your week has been, doing what it's supposed to do, moving around. It's actually hump day. And yeah, so I just hope everybody's in good spirits and things. And yeah, I'm gonna get ready to hit this, you know, go and hit this little part of the show where, you can hit the like button, become a subscriber while this intro plays. All right. So, it's not even really a movie, but we're in the Housewives dynamic. Hey! Hey y'all, it's California Cutie here. I want you guys to come join a moment. So always. Hey, okay, and we're back. So let me tell y'all why we here. If you don't know, if you accidentally clicked on this page and didn't know why you were on this channel and didn't know what you clicked on, we are here for the good girls of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. Sweet 16 it is. It's a Sweet 16 season for them. The title is Welcome Back, Peaches. Okay, so this is the first episode of season 16, y'all. We just gonna recap and review and see what the ladies is talking about. We got a couple new girls in here. You know what I mean? We got the newbies. We got a couple of old faces, old heads that familiar to us, and some in betweens. Okay, so yeah. Without further ado, let me actually do my screen this away. Okay, we're gonna do it like that. Let me put my notes up because, like I said, we are reviewing and recapping the first episode of Atlanta's Housewives, and so just to run down who we have in the building and these, in this pretty picture of these ladies, everybody looks beautiful. Okay, everybody looks great. So we have Miss Portia Williams, we have Juisadora, we have Shamia. I'm not gonna mess up her last name, but Shamia Morton Mwangi, I think. I don't know. I'm sorry, Shamia, but Shamia Morton. We have Britt Edie. We have Kelly Farrell, we have Angela Oakley, and we're gonna get a little bit of Phaedra Parks as we're getting a little bit of Kenya. Okay, she's not in this cast photo, but she is here. Okay, she's definitely here. Hmm. So that is the cast, or who will appear on the cast. But these are the peach holders right here. Okay, so we start off with Portia. You know, she's got her workout outfit on, looking good and everything, body yada yada in. The violins are playing in the background, and the pictures all of her and Simon are on the walls. And when I say the walls, she's outside and there's buildings, and they're showing pictures of them on the building. I was like, oh, look at them. Look at them. You gonna get a good edit too, huh? You and Sweet Tea, y'all both gonna get a good edit. Okay, I ain't mad at it. Okay. So anyway, she's talking about her deceased marriage, and 15 months they were together, her and Simon. So yeah, Mr. Gubata, yeah, yes. Her and her husband were together 15 months. And now she's filing for divorce. And this is right when it was in the thick of things. Like, we're getting it now. This was like last year. So it's really fresh. And Portia is very vulnerable, but she's got she tries to play this strong role for some reason. I don't know what the reason would be. I think she don't want people to see her vulnerable side because she thinks somebody probably is going to take advantage of it. But anyway, she said they had financial woes, and there were serious trust issues. You don't say. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, Portia. What kind of trust issues did you guys have? So cute. So cute. So cute. Oh my God. That's so funny. Anyway, duh. You started your whole relationship. That was it was built on. No, we don't even know yet. I would love to tell y'all what it was really built on, but we ain't got to it yet. But this is the first segment. This is the first thing. Maybe we'll get into it. Okay. But I don't know. I just know that it all took us by surprise when you got with Simon. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, she is fully aware that people think that uh, this is her karma for taking Fallon's husband. But Portia says she guess she has bad karma and good karma because she always comes out okay. Okay, I can't deny that. I can't deny that. I ain't gonna even. If you feel like your karma's good and you're doing your thing, go on, girl. But you know what? Speak it out into the universe. Maybe it come back to you. I ain't even mad at you. So, excuse me. So we get Shamia, who finally, y'all, is a peach holder. If y'all not knowing, we've been seeing Shamia since almost the beginning of the show, at least since Candy been on the show, at least since Portia been on the show. So, she's friends with both of them. And so Shamia is finally a peach holder. And we get to see her beautiful, extravagant home and the way she lives and the way she loves. And her family dynamic, her husband. Excuse me. We've been waiting for this. Like, literally, this been marinating. We've been marinating on Shamia. So anyway, Shamia brings us back to that old school, that back in the day when Housewives first started. When we were so excited to see how they really lived and how much money they were making or their husbands was making, because housewives are really, they can build the empire. I'm not saying that, but it was really built on them being housewives and really not having to do much and still living this lavish life. But anywho, child, Shamia, I'm telling you, she took it back to the original formula, and Shamia's house is extravagant. You understand what I'm telling you? It's extravagant. The year she bought her house was the what is the second largest purchase that year in the same year? So only one other person's paid more. Only one other person paid more that year for a house. Her house, she paid 9 million for. I said what I told y'all, marinating. They've been marinating on Shamia. Her house, 9 million. And in Georgia, let's be clear, you can get you a nice house for way under that. So a $9 million home is just like ridiculous, outrageous. I ain't mad at it. Shamia, thank you for showing us and opening your home to us to let us see what's going on. Because that's amazing. Shamia proclaims herself as a quadruple threat like Jamie Foxx, because she can sing, dance, and act, and she, hosts basketball games, NBA games, and things. Um, and so I ain't mad at that. Like literally, this is what I'm talking about. We just been, I ain't gonna say we've been sleeping on Shamia because, like I said, she's been a friend of the show. So we knew what was going on, but like we literally get to go inside and see really what's going on. So it's Shamia's 42nd birthday. Um, it's Shamia's 42nd birthday, and it's near Mother's Day as well. And so I know people that's birthday is near Mother's Day, and I mean, if their mother, they turn up both ways, but it could be it could get a little nerve wracking when you're trying to throw a party or do something when everybody wants to be with their mothers. If their mother or grandmother is still around, that's what you usually go do. So, anywho, um, so Shamia, has family over to the house, mom, dad, family, everybody, because one is about to be Shamia's birthday party, and two, I just told y'all, it's Mother's Day. So Shamia has two daughters. She has a 5-year-old that's Shia. She's so cute, but just like her father. Oh my goodness. I was like, Shamia, are you in there? Not like that, in a good way. She looks just like her dad. And then she has baby Shiloh, who is 15 months. Yeah, baby Shiloh, who is 15 months. And then Shiloh, little baby fighter, okay. She was delivered at 32 weeks with her surrogate. So she's, was born prematurely, but her little, so she has around the clock nurses. Um, and even with, the challenges that little Shiloh has, Shamia still wants to grow her family. You know what I mean? That just means she got so much love to give, and kudos. My hat goes off to her. Uh, and that also to me says that Shamia is a fighter because, like, look at how she's, have to deal with her daughter with the complications she's having or had. But I'm sure in the beginning it was a rough fight. But Shamia and Gerald have been married 10 years. Um, and we get this condensed version of her trying to tell us about how her and Gerald met. Gerald is her husband. So we get the 5-minute story condensed down, and they're just like, they kind of, when they kind of make the story go faster, they didn't speed her mouth up or anything, but they just like kind of make the story move a little faster. So they was doing that. She said she met Gerald at a club. He sent over a drink. He didn't speak to her. Her friends, I think, knew him and had told her that he was having a cookout at his house, that she should go. She's like, he bought me a drink. He even talked to me now. You want me to go over his house? But she ended up going. When she got there, of course, family there, a lot of people there, I'm sure. And so she says there was children running around there. So, when they did speak there, of course he's speaking to her there because they're not in a loud club. So anyway, she was like, are any of these kids your kids? And he's like, no, I don't have any children. And girl, that's another thing. Shamia, sorry y'all, older. Shamia, Shamia be making these little things like an actress, and so she's like marry me. So that was funny. So in my notes, I put she was like, I'm about to clankety clank him down. So her friend ended up, for whatever reason, at the cookout, she ended up leaving. Um, Shamia ended up staying the night there. They didn't do anything. She said about 4 something in the morning, her stomach started bubbling. And so he told her to go into the bathroom, and that bathroom must have been next door or in the same room where he was sleeping and stuff. And and so she said, all she get, it was an orchestra of things going on. It was an orchestra of things going on. She finished her business. She got up, left. She said the man called her and asked her back over. And she said, girl, the man has some wipes for me, girl. The man loves me. I said, Shamia, you a mess. So like I said, not that she's acting, but she's very animated when she talks. So I like watching Shamia. She's funny. Shamia was born and raised in Georgia, so she has a connected piece of people, more people, but she knows a lot of people. Probably like from like elementary or like elementary all the way up to college, and then being in the business. So she probably has an array of people that she knows. They even do a diagram how Shamia knows Cynthia, how she knows Kenya, how she knows Drew, how she knows Britt, and how she knows Kelly, which are some of the new girls. She doesn't really know Angela Oakley, but she does know Angela's husband, Charles Oakley, because Shamia hosts NBA games, as I stated earlier, and so Shamia says she pretty much gonna be the glue of this of the girls of this group. I said, okay, girl, we're gonna see. Excuse me. We gonna see, girl. We gonna see. Okay, so Drew is trying to navigate a very awkward situation, y'all. This is I ain't never seen this before. None of my friends have went through this. I don't know how I feel about it. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. But this is an awkward situation. What I put, we'll get there. I said, well, we'll get there. Okay, Drew been's going through a divorce for a year now. Kenya and Brooklyn come by to catch up with her. Brooklyn didn't come catch up with her, but Brooklyn went to come play with her little girl, with Drew's little girl. And so Drew says, so much has changed. She shows Kenya's what used to be Ralph's office upstairs. It looked like at a barbershop. The office was nice. If that was the office and it had a barber chair in there, yeah, I was liking that. That was nice. She shows Kenya what used to be Ralph's office, but it's not anymore because the court ordered him to stay downstairs in the basement, while Drew utilized the higher level part of the home. Where they do that at, y'all? In Georgia. In Georgia. Um, hey, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that. I'm not rolling with that. Like that, if that was the court order, child, I'd be so mad that he could be that close to me. I don't care if it's downstairs. But anyway, um, like I said, they live on a different floor. Ralph has his own entrance to the lower level, and the lower level of the house. Drew has to leave the house every first, third, and fifth weekend. That's insane. Crazy. Crazy. Crazy, yeah. No, not doing that. I mean, court order, I'm doing it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just mad. That's just weird. Drew said she thought he would take that opportunity to move out since he liked to be out in those streets. But no, He wants to be a thorn in her ass and make it uncomfortable for the both of them. He always was a weirdo. If y'all don't know, y'all better go back and check because me and my sis Barb, we talked about him. Goes to critique panel, child. Go back and check us out. It's crazy. Um, um, so so much. Like I said, he's a weirdo. So much so that they have to communicate through an app. They got to talk on an app on the phone or on the computer. That's what the judge ordered that. And the fact that the judge can see what they say to each other and it could be used against whomever if somebody say he's doing this or she's doing that and the court can see what y'all been saying to each other. Weird. But okay, that's what they got going on. Um She says Ralph Weird Self does not have any self-control, so he talks trash to Drew on this app that the judge can see. I just told y'all. In true fashion, Drew lets him talk mess because the judge can use it for evidence. Drew says he likes to argue and be petty and messy on the app. She said she would love to give him the middle finger emoji, but she knows the judge can see it, and so she don't. Kenya asked Drew what she been up to. She said she literally did like 5 movies last year. I'm like, oh, Drew. Uh, and she said it would have been. Oh no, I said that would have been last year. She started, and she said she started working on music. I was like, okay, look at her. She's working on her good music, right? Sorry, y'all. She's working on her good music, and so Drew said she was asked to open up for Tank. So she was excited about that. Um, it was in her home state. Drew is from Chicago. So that's where Tank was uh, had his performance at, and he wanted her to open up there. So Kenya was like, oh, I love Chicago. She was like, my family's from Detroit. Drew says, oh, okay, yeah, Dennis's family is from Detroit. Kenya like, oh, Dennis, Portia Dennis. Portia Dennis? Drew says, yeah, that's who I partnered up with to do my music. King was like, oh, okay, well, how does Portia feel about that? Because everybody knows what's good for the goose ain't never good for the gander when you are the goose and the other person is the gander. It ain't never good. So, with that being said, Can you ask Drew, how does Portia feel about it? Drew said, Portia said, girl, yeah. Girl, yeah. That's what Portia said. Did that even sound right, y'all? She said, she said, she said, girl, yeah. Girl, yeah to what? What did you say? What was said? Maybe they cut it out. I don't know. Anyway, and the look on Kenya's face was like, girl, I don't believe you. I don't believe anything you saying. But anyway, Drew said it didn't even sound. Oh, I would just okay. I just said that. Anyway, all she said is that Portia said, "Girl, yeah." It's like literally. Drew says she's very thankful to Dennis for showing up for her. He's like an angel on earth for her during this time where she didn't want to get out of the house, out of the bed, dealing with the divorce from Ralph. uh, Dennis lit a fire under her to make her want to get up and go to the studio and do music. So she's very thankful to Dennis. Drew said something very interesting in saying that Dennis, uh, partnered up with her for music because uh, he said, this can help him pay for Pilar, his daughter's college, and you know, Drew has her two kids, not two daughters, but she has a son and a daughter. So, you know, I mean, so literally Drew is like basically saying they are together in it to make money. You know what I mean? And she also, we had saw, oh, I'm sorry, y'all forget. I got a new microphone, so I'm so sorry. Uh, we also saw, because producers, they'll show us, you know, people's phone if they're talking so we can see who it is, especially if they don't show their face. And in her phone, she had him as Dennis Bro. And so when they showed, like I said, when they showed her phone, they said Dennis Bro. So um from the sounds of it, it seemed like to me it's platonic, could be all about money, but we'll have to watch the rest of the season and see how it plays out. Kenya wheels are spinning. We can see Kenya's wheels are spinning totally. Like literally, I'm like, Kenya ain't buying a look at this. I don't know. I'll say this. I just feel like Kenya was a little subdued from previous seasons. That's what I'll say. So yeah, she didn't go in. She just was, but you can read it on her face. She asked Drew if Dennis was so into music, why didn't he help foster Portia's music career? That's interesting to her. Drew said she doesn't know how long it was his passion. Uh, I was like, okay, mm, mm, okay. If you don't know, but you spoke on it like that was his passion and you knew, hey, what? Hey, y'all have at it. Drew says he did talk to Portia to get her blessing. Kenya says, well, did he get her blessing? Drew says, he told me he did. So she was like, cool, let's go. Kenya is literally laughing at her face, in her face, like, is, is that what she said? Is that how it came out? Drew says, so she was like, you know, I think that Portia would just, wouldn't just sit around and just not speak up. You know what I mean? She's like, Portia definitely would speak her mind. Uh, but my question to Drew is, why wouldn't you have just called her? Why are you doing a third party? You're working on music with Dennis, and you and Portia are friends or have been a little bit kind of on a friendship lollipop. I'm just saying. Uh, why wouldn't you pick up the phone and just be like, girl, or even had her in the studio like at any time? I find that kind of funny. So that she didn't call Portia herself. Portia, um, yeah, I said it would have been better if she would have heard it from the horse's mouth. I mean, no, the horse's mouth. So next, hit the like button if you're enjoying yourself. I'm trying to breeze through it, y'all. It was a cool little first episode. If I didn't say so, I didn't because I was trying to get the wheels rolling. But yeah, it was a cool little episode. But let me get back. So we are introduced to a newbie. Her name is Kelly. She is the lady all the way. I'm not looking sure on the screen if it's to your left, but I think it's gonna be on your left side. I would call her the little shorty doo-wop of the crew, the one with the little feathery um, I don't know what to call that thing. Little half jacket. So Kelly, we're introduced to Kelly. She's having a tea party. Everybody at the tea party looks so beautiful. The tea party is for her, excuse me, 17-year-old daughter, Chloe. And also has a set of twins, Chastity and Chelsea. They're 8 years old. And she also has a daughter, Chance, who is 11, who just like all the children. I don't know why they do this, but she wrote all on her legs like she had tattoos all on her. And so her mom, when she introduced her to, talking about her at the tea party, she was like, yeah, I don't know why she would do that. I was like, I remember those days when you just, hey mom, why you gotta, and you gotta put on a dress and we not scrubbing it off. We ain't gonna scrub it off. You gonna wear that. I got a child. I don't want to put my daughter on blast. Yes, I will. I got a funny story. I do have a funny story though. I'll tell it another time. But yeah, these sometimes you have to clown your little kids sometimes. And that was like a moment where I thought to myself, oh, you didn't make her wash her legs all the way off and you have her in this dress and now you talking mess to all your friends about what she did. Poor little chance. I like our little kids' names too. Anyway, she is a single mom going through a divorce. Kelly is a single mom going through a divorce. She said her divorce should be final within 2 months. Kelly was married for 11 years. She opened up her own business named after her grandmother. It's called Nana's Waffles. She opened that business up in 2016, but she moved from Maryland to Georgia in 2003. So it took her real cool. She was out there for 13 years and then boom, bam, boom, bop, bop, bam. Okay, go on, girl. I ain't mad at you. Um, um, she's doing real well for herself. She has a cookbook. And she also has 24 karat gold maple syrup that was featured in Ford magazine the year before they started filming that. She has a line of waffle mix, Cajun grits, and she is currently working on a mimosa mix. I said, save some stuff for us to do too. No, I'm just joking. That's awesome. See, like I said, old formula. We're going back to the old formula. These girls have something to say, something to do, something to talk about. And I like it. I know. I freaking love it. I freaking love it. Like literally, it's we back to the old formula. Seriously. Can you guys hit the like button for me? I just need to text my son and tell him I need some more water. Need water. He probably gonna say no. Because I wouldn't cut his steak up before I did this video. Anywho, what I put in my notes, Kelly is booked and busy. She is booked and busy. And she also has a beautiful townhome. Okay, let's be clear. Her townhome, she has very nice taste. Like, uh, yeah, I think she has really nice taste. And like I said, it's her daughter's birthday, and um, they're about to bring out the cake. And the daughter, before she bring out when she's about to blow out the candles on the cake, my son texts me back. Told y'all he didn't want to bring me he wasn't gonna want to bring me my water. That's him. Sorry, y'all. Anywho, um, her daughter, before she blows out the candles on her cake, she made a wish. She was like, y'all, everybody was like, make a wish, make a wish. She was like, a pink Birkin. I said, girl, not a pink Birkin. And you just turned 17. Not 17. 17. Okay, so Kelly said she gonna have to work hard to get a Birkin now. I was like, girl, because I'm often say if you had that for her, I ain't mad. If you have the money, do your thing. You know, if that's what they're used to, do your thing, child. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Let me see you. Do it. I dare you. But uh so I put in my notes, she got something. That's what she wanted, but she got something that equaled up to that, I'm sure. So Kelly bought her 17 different designer bags. She said that Chloe has a thing for bags. And these were real cute and dainty. So I thought that was super cute, super sweet. And so I was like, I'm never gonna be mad at you spoiling the kids. Like if you have it, if that's what you're gonna do it. I love it. So anyway, Portia's back at her lawyer's office because she's getting a divorce. So she went to go see Randy again, and she's getting a divorce from Simon. Um, we get a side by side. Thank you, sir. Thank you kindly. I appreciate your life. I couldn't read your text, but I know it's it's something smart. All right. Ooh, this water is good and cold. Anyway, we get a side by side frame of Portia when she got a divorce from Cordell Stewart in 2013. to 2024, last year, walking into the lawyer's office, walking into the same lawyer's office, and it's not that it was sad. It wasn't. It was just like, ugh, it was just like, wow, that's crazy. To be doing it again on TV. But anyway, and then we get a flashback of when she was talking to Lauren, her sister, about when Cordell kicked her out, like she was some type of stranger. Um, and now she's fighting with Simon because Simon does not want her to film inside the house. We all heard that when before the season started. We were all privy to because the blogs had caught wind of that. And so they both have 50-50 stake in this marital home. So Portia, you know, she like literally has to fight with him. And so she is like, she didn't want to fight. She didn't want to become the better, but I put Portia didn't want it to become a bitter divorce. It seemed like Simon is the bitter one. Portia says her back was against the wall when different allegations came out about him not having a green card. And then they went back in the day. He had some kind of case where that I guess his company uh, owed nearly 9K um, for some like unpaid private jet or some kind of scam he had going on. So Portia said the only way to protect herself was to really uh, go back to her prenup. And the only way to activate the prenup is to get the divorce. And here we are. So Portia does some reflecting on the fact that she posted a picture on social media. Now, this was last year because we're in March. Valentine, not Valentine this in 25, Valentine 2024. She had posted a picture by herself and it said Valentine vacation. uh, and knowing that her and Simon were not in a good place, but she is from the old school, and she said that they keep their marriages private. But my thing is, if you lied about y'all still being together on Valentine's Day, or even alluding to the fact that you guys are still together, how can we trust you when you are saying the same thing about how can you trust your husband when it came to green card? I don't know why I put that, but literally, why? How can you basically? Maybe that's what I should say. She's been scammed and had the wool pull over her eyes, so now her guard is up. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say her guard is up. Um, I did put in my notes that I feel like Portia do move the line a little bit when it comes to her trying to um, when things happen to her, she forgets that she had did that same thing to somebody else, but it's not okay when they do it, but it's okay that when she did it. And so, yeah, the goalpost is always moving with her. Sorry, Portia. Um, the lawyer asked if she had talked to Simon. She said she talked to him about 2 weeks ago. They were cut off. He had cut all communications with her, and she started to cry about it. So she says now she has to be the person he wants her to be, which is, to be cold. She wants to move forward in the court process. But in the confessional, Portia says one of their joys, one of her joys was getting up and making her husband happy. She said she genuinely thought that he was uh, felt the same way about her. So she's mourning the person that she thought she married, and she said that it wasn't real, and she just wants to move on. Well, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing like, well, if you would have got to know Simon before you just whisked off and married him 102 times, maybe we wouldn't be here. You might have learned a little something because they only show you their real selves like after like, and I'm not saying they, we, we all still have like, we're trying to be on our P's and Q's. You want him to like you picking up behind him, you doing stuff, and he might do a little bit, he might cook a little bit, and then when y'all get together for a minute, then it's like he ain't cooking no more, or you getting tired of picking up after him, but you'll know that. And I don't think you was still in honeymoon phase for too long. No, not long enough as a relationship. Anyway, Shamia links up with Kelly, and we are introduced to Britt Edie, who is an insurance agent. So Britt on this picture, child, oh my gosh, I can't really see. I mean, I can see. I feel like she's the one that's standing next to. Yeah, she's the one standing next. Wait, hold on, child, don't give me the line. Oh yeah, she's the one standing next to Shamia. A lot of these ladies, I had to learn their faces and stuff. Okay, so bear with me if I'm getting it wrong. My bag didn't need to, but I believe that. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Portia. My bad. Britt is standing on the opposite side of Kelly with her peach, with her pretty dress on. And then next to her is Angela. And then Portia, and then Shamia, and then Drew, and then Kelly. All right, y'all, I got it together. Literally, my notes is covering Britt. So I see her dress and everything, but I don't see her face. I'm sorry. Back to the scheduled program. All right. Like I said, Britt is an insurance agent, and Shamia brings up her party. They're all at dinner, or have cocktails. Um, it may have been Shamia's actual birthday, or was in the vicinity of her birthday. Anyway, they bring up her party, and that everybody's gonna be there. She was like, my BFF is gonna be there, Portia, and then she was like, although Portia is going through a lot, with the public divorce, Britt says she thinks that Portia will come out on top. Shamia agrees, uh, but Miss Kelly, firecracker to the littlest one right there, the little firecracker right there. Kelly thought, that ain't how she was thinking. Kelly was like, okay, what she said. Kelly thought it was okay. Oh, I put Kelly thought it was okay to tell Shamia that she know it was. She do she this is what she did. She turned to Shamia and said, it wasn't the right thing for her to take that girl's husband, that girl's man. Shamia was like, whoa. And Britt was over there like, girl, uh-oh. Because let's be clear, that's Shamia's BFF. So if you ask me about my BFF, and in your tone, you're being condescending, or you're even being clowning my best friend, when that's not a clowning moment for her life, yeah, we're gonna have a little problem. It's a small little problem. Not like nothing I can't check you on in the moment. I'm checking you in the moment though. I am. Anyway, Shamia put her cape on and says that Simon and Fallon were split before Portia and Simon went public. But we all know that there's a very big gray area when it comes to the triangle, right? Like, we all know that. Nobody literally, because Portia has not spoke on it still. Hence, she didn't come back to the Housewives to speak on it when it was happening. But okay, whatever. Kelly says she gets a lot of information from off the blog. Shamia says, well, I want you to get to know Portia um, for her. I want you to get to know Portia for herself and stop reading the blogs. Shamia says that Portia and her have been friends since they were kids. so she feels obligated to have her back. Shamia also says that she invited Drew and Ralph, even though they're separated, but she don't know what's the ins and outs to the relationship. So she just, covering all her bases. She didn't want to, she just didn't want to leave either one of them out. Brittany says, Britt says, I said Brittany. Britt says, isn't Drew dating Dennis? It's like, they say, what? I'm like, wait, who said that? Wait, what? What are y'all doing right now? Okay, the girls is coming in hot. They're coming in hot. See, you see the flames in the background of my thing? This is why I have it. Like, yeah, that's what they're doing. They're literally coming in like, oh, okay. So anyway, she said, yeah, ain't Drew dating Dennis? Shamir says, they have been spotted out together. I know they're working together, but my question is, when she said it, who did she hear it from? She never said it. She never said where she heard it from. They basically said, people have been calling her or texting her, or calling her, and letting her know to her phone that they saw Dennis and Drew out holding hands, and then they show a picture of now. It was a flash. I should have really looked at it really good, but it looked like two people holding hands, but like with their hands up, like when you're going into a crowded club and you walk in and you're trying to stay together. It kind of like that. I don't know. It didn't look like, because when you holding hands downward, it feels like you more like boyfriend girlfriend. So I don't know. It didn't look like boyfriend girlfriend picture. Hand holding hands to me. Anyway, so Britt says, yeah, I heard they were booed up. Kelly says Dennis slid into her. Oh, yeah. She's like, I heard they was booed up. Then Kelly says Dennis slid into her DMs, commenting under a post in her bathing suit, but she did not oblige. Oh, so, first of all, he said she was in her bathing suit. He says, no way you have 4 kids. She didn't give him response. So that's when Britt went out. Britt says, oh, I went on a date with Dennis. I was like, uh-oh. There's a couple of things that can happen right here, especially if we already understand that Portia's not really been filled in on all of Drew's stuff. So anyway, even though if it was before her or after her, I just feel like Portia is very territorial. So we gonna see. So anyway, Britt says she went out on one date with Dennis back in the day. She said it was one single date. They did not do anything. She says, and Dennis came bearing a gift. It was a diamond necklace. I was like, wait. He came bearing a diamond necklace. Okay, girl. Shamia jokingly says to her, oh, the one you have on, because she had a really pretty diamond necklace on. She was like, girl, no, he can't afford this one. I was like, okay, dig. Shady. But anyway, Britt says she was a video vixen while she was still in high school. Okay, so I was like, okay, girl, you was a video vixen when you was in high school. She was like, the girl was like, wait, what? And she was like, yeah, I was doing like the men's magazine. Now I ain't gonna say she talking about nothing like Playboy or anything, but you guys remember back in the day they used to have King's magazine where the girls would have on bathing suits or something real skimpy, cute. They was all beautiful women and just like they were bomb. Shout out to all the girls that were in those magazines. But anyway, this little young lady said she was in high school still, so that kind of made me cringe just a bit. But okay. And then they ended up toasting. And they're like to best friends. And I'm like, that's weird because Portia not here. Shamia, what you talking about? You the ones y'all said and y'all toast to it. But hey, whatever. So anyway, we get Portia and Shamia meet up at the strip club or go to the strip club. to get my Portia's mind off of all the things that's going on with Simon, because I told y'all she's right in the thick of things in this moment. So Shamia wants to, you know, let the hair down and get a little cocktail or two, look at some girls shake their booties, and do their thing. So Shamia asked if Portia they ordered double shots of cognac and double shots of tequila. Okay. Coke back and everything. And so Portia says, Portia, no, Shamia asked Portia, has she spoke to Simon? She was like, no. Shamia was like, oh, he texted me earlier and congratulated me and getting my peach, and getting on the show and how I'm gonna be able to show my beautiful home, me and Gerald. And she was like, but yeah, bro, that should have been that was supposed to be us. And I know for a fact he knows that. One, he knows that Shamia is gonna tell Portia that, which is gonna make her upset, and he knows that. But okay, let's do it. That's what you're doing. It's just I can't stand dudes that do that type of stuff. But anyway, Portia basically. Oh, what I put? Oh yeah, I put that was a dig because Portia basically cannot film in their home. So Shamia's Shamia's gonna talk to Portia. No. So Portia says he ain't. Oh, I put Portia says, I don't know why he concerned with he got more things to be concerned about than who's holding a peach. Shamia says he's using, the blogs and anybody close to you to get under your skin. Portia agrees and tell her, yeah, and he's not your bro. He's Simon. Shamia was like, oh, okay, girl. Like, all right. Like, I'm not tripping. Shamia brings up that Kelly and Britt discussed. Well, she brought up Kelly and Britt and that they went out, and she was like, yeah, the girls. She's like, the girls had brought up. She was like, I went out with the girls. Kelly brought up or asked, why did she take that lady's man? And Shamia got to blinking on her. I mean, Shamia. Portia got the blinking on her, like, wait, what? Wait, what? She was like, and wanted to know why is that her energy? But in the confessional, she says everybody talking about my divorce. They want to smear her name. I'm like, Portia, we're not trying to smear your name, babe. We're not. We're not trying to smear your name. But let's call the thing the thing. Let's call the thing the thing. Take accountability for some of the things that you've done and how we haven't discussed it yet. So yeah, I feel like the girl was not really being as messy as she's really just trying to find out what happened and why would why would she do that? Nobody else has asked you. So anyway, Shamia tells Portia that she told Kelly she needs to get to know Portia for herself. Portia was like, oh no, she don't need to get to know me. And that'll be the first thing that I'm gonna let her know. Portia says that she has boundaries, and if a bitch come at her wrong, she don't have nothing for her. Portia says she's trying me. I was like, okay. Kelly is trying to promote her chicken shack. I was like, not the chicken shack. uh, Kelly has the nano waffles place, but Shamia tells Portia, let's take another shot. Let's take another shot. Portia says, no, keep spilling the tea. I want some more tea. Shamia says, no, I'm gonna give you the tea. Let's just take another shot. So she's like, yeah, so the girls brought up Drew. Shamia said, I even heard that Drew and Dennis have been hanging out a lot. She said people been reaching out to her and said they've been out spotted at the club. Portia says, you mean for her birthday, right? And Shamia was like kind of looking around like, oh, because I think in Shamia's mind it's been plural. And if you say a birthday, that would be one time. And so I think Shamia didn't want to say for sure, but it could be. So she just said, nothing. So she like I said, she gives her this look, and like I'm not sure if it was for his birth for Drew's birthday or not. Um, Portia's like mouth falls on the floor, like her jaw. She's like, "Oh my god, let me pick my jaw up," because okay, this is like too messy for me. And I'm thinking to myself, this is too messy. This right here, Portia, this right here is too messy for you. Okay, Bookie. All right, whatever. It's too messy. I'm sorry for you. Mm-mm-mm. So we find out that Drew is an influencer for Portia's Go Naked wig line. Portia feels like all this BS sneaking around with her daughter's father, Dennis, the hot dog man behind her back. That's crossing the line. Leave me a comment below and let me know if that's crossing the line or when she went over to Fallon's house and fist bumped Simon and hung out with them. That might have not been her first time there. And are we ever going to find out really what really and truly happened? Mm. Inquiring minds, Bookie. Inquiring minds. Anyway, Portia says, "Yeah, girl, your party gonna be. Sounds like your party gonna be real interesting." And I'm thinking, girl, it is. It is. You know it's gonna be. Oh, child, I'm about drinking some water, and I need you guys on this little small little break to do what it says to do. All right, y'all. We're back. We are back. Let me bring my notes back up, please, real quick. And thanks. Thank y'all for joining me again, my cutie clique. I love y'all so much. I really appreciate all the support. I really do. So it's the day of Shamia's party, y'all. Her 42nd birthday party. And so we get her singing about the rain go away and some stuff because it's the early part of the day. It's raining in Georgia. That weather, it could be raining, it could be hot, and it can pour down, and it can be hot. Like, and then it can drizzle and feel good and still be hot. It could just be, yeah, cray. Um, so we get, like I said, Shamia singing, trying to make the rain go away, because she's having an outdoor party. Cynthia calls Portia, and they both are, getting glammed up for the party. Portia thanks Cynthia for checking in on her with all the issues that her and Simon have been going through. Cynthia says she's mad she can't go to Nigeria now because she was making plans to make a trip. Portia like, girl, we can still go to Nigeria because I found out my 44% of DNA is Nigerian blood. I was like, girl, that's so sweet. Oh, Portia, that's nice. And she was like, and she's like, and she know her tribe, and her makeup artist is from Nigeria, and they from the same tribe, and they are African sisters. That's my sister. I said, go on, girl. Go on, Portia, your sister. Cynthia brings up Drew and says she thinks that that she's going through her divorce, Drew and Ralph's divorce. And then Portia tells Cynthia, yeah, well, she has a good support a good support group or a support system. She's been talking to Dennis. Cynthia was like, wait, huh? She got so close to, huh? What you say? She was like, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. And so they didn't elaborate right there, but the way Portia was laughing, and laughed and said to Miss Diane, girl, you should see how close Cynthia got to the phone to see what I was talking about. And so, like I said, it looked like Portia might be in her feelings or feeling some type of way about Drew. So anyway, we get back to Shamia's house where the chefs is chefing. Kelly arrives early via Shamia's request because she wants to talk to Kelly, or she wants Kelly to know how uncomfortable she felt when she was talking about Portia, the other night, and that she also shared with Portia what was said. Kelly said, "Clearly, you did, because Portia, I don't know if she added her, but I guess she was on some type of social media platform, and she was saying, yeah, y'all, I don't know about this girl Kels. All I know is that the girl owns some restaurant or something like that." And Kelly says she kind of understand what Portia is going through because she's going through a divorce and she was cheated on. And so Shamir was like, wait a minute, I didn't know that there was an infidelity. So Shamir is like, okay, so I can kind of understand why she, is coming off, so strong, opinionated, or, or I wouldn't say opinionated because she haven't gave her opinion, why she is questioning Portia so strongly because infidelity. And that could look like, if Simon was married to Fallon and then he started messing with Portia, there's an infidelity there. So that's where where the two things are meeting together in Kelly's mind, I would think. So anyway, Shamia says if she has any questions about Portia, just go directly to Portia, like, because she don't want she don't want to be in the middle of things. If something goes sour, she just go to her. So this is when we get a glimpse of Shamia's lavish, beautiful. Oh my gosh, some of her beautiful. I mean, like we've seen some of it all throughout this episode. Like I'm talking about like it says theater on it. I mean, she has elevators. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, her house is beautiful. And it also shows us how she's about to entertain her guests. So Shamia is gonna have her guests wear all white. And the first one to get to what they call Sterling Hall was Cynthia. After that Kelly came early. So Cynthia walks into Sterling Hall. Cynthia is like, wait, this house is so beautiful. It doesn't even look like someone lives here, meaning it looks like somebody's hotel, somebody's villa, somewhere you come stay and somebody comes and cleans it and then the next person comes and stays there, right? I was like, Shamia, I love you, girl. So Shamia is in her confessional and the producers ask her, where did Gerald get her husband, Gerald? Where did he get all this wealth from? Shamia jokes and says, he's an African king. She's like, no, but seriously, he does HVAC and he put in most of the HVACs in most of the airports in America. So look at my eyeballs. That's money on top of money on top of money. That's money, 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 money. That's what it is. Money. Okay, it's money. Shmoney. And your wife works too. And your wife works. Yes, she works. Okay. Anyway, in walks Angela Oakley, who is married to Charles Oakley, another newbie. That is the one sitting down next to Portia. Okay. All right. She's married to Charles Oakley, who used to play for the Bulls and for the New York Knicks. She's been married to him for 8 years. She says Charles is very direct and a straight shooter, but she can get what she wants out of him. She says she's an alpha female, so she can work her way around her husband. Cynthia and Kelly meet for the first time. They go go grab a drink, and then they go have a seat. Kelly tells Cynthia that she has 4 daughters, and her oldest just turned 17. They find out that they're both Pisces, which means they love. That's what a Pisces love. Okay. Anyway, Cynthia says she thinks that that the Pisces attract drama. Kelly says, I don't think we attract drama. It just finds us. Like, JJ used to say, he finds some. Shout out to Good Times. Anyway, Kelly says she had to have an uncomfortable conversation with Shamia a little earlier about Portia, because she asks, why did Portia, take that lady's husband? Now, in front of Kelly, Cynthia says, oh, Lord. But when we get her in the confessional, she says, if coming in hot was a person, it would be Kelly. Child. So Cynthia goes on to tell Kelly that Portia is never shy. And Kelly says, neither am I. So we're just going to have to see, y'all, how this going to work out. I don't know how this going to work out. I don't know, y'all. But okay, we're going to see. So Brittany and her husband, Mike, arrived to the party. Kelly says everybody's arriving. Let's be clear, but for the show, everybody looks like, but the party's jumping. The party is popping. The party looks like a club. It's very, very, very nice. Britt and her husband, Mike, arrived to the party. They were introduced to, they arrived to the party. Kelly says she's starved and points out that Shamia has her cookbook, Kelly's cookbook, in her kitchen, named Cooking with a K with Kelly. She tells the ladies she got to get them all a cookbook. Angela says they all need to come over and get together because her husband cooks. She was like, he doesn't eat my cooking. And so everybody's like, wait, what? Like, are you serious? And so she's like, yeah. She said, it don't matter because it's all love. She was like, because she's married. Like I said, she's married. She was like, because I'm married to Charles Oakley. Put some respect on his name. Right, honey? I was like, wait, what? What's happening here? What's happening here? And then Charles looked at her and said, they don't have to. Thank you. I'm not saying not to. I'm just saying thank you for, because where was she going with that? What are you talking about, girl? Anyway, Drew arrives to the party. She meets Britt for the first time. She sees Kelly and they hug. Drew said she just had some waffles and lobster at Nana's spot. And we also find out the way she found out about Nana's spot. One of her assistants went and grabbed some, and her and Kelly have been friends ever since. Angela and Drew know each other because they have the same stylist, I think hairstylist, but same stylist nonetheless. And they're both from Chicago. So then what happened? Cynthia and Drew see each other. They see each other they see each other and they hug and they both say, we need to catch up, girl, because I know they do. Hold on, I'm not going nowhere, people. I just need to put a little bit more light on. But yes, they see each other and they hug and stuff. And like I said, they said they need to catch up, but this ain't the moment in this moment right here, but they will catch up. And so my notes. So Britt asked Drew, is she publicly dating, or or is Ralph publicly dating? And Drew says, she has people that are showing interest, but like that's all we got. So he was like, but they didn't go any further. That's all we got. So it started sprinkling outside. It's also warm outside. So Angela, which is the one that's sitting next to Portia, Angela is sweating her glue off of her little wig. That's not funny, but that's the humidity out there along with the rain. And so she's sweating. Her husband told her to go to the bathroom and go check on herself because things are lifting. As she goes to the restroom, Miss Kenya Moore has entered the chat, people. Okay. Miss Kenya Moore is here. Okay. She walks up on Drew and the girls, and she's happy to see Cynthia. Um, when she saw Drew, she said hello to her. They kind of hugged, not like hug, but like kind of like got close. And then when she saw Cynthia, that she got close and she air kissed Cynthia. And then she stepped away because Brittany was standing on the other side of Cynthia. And when she pulled back from Cynthia, Britt said, asked Kenya, how are you? And I'm not sure if Kenya didn't hear her or she was just trying to ignore her or what it was, but what she did say, oh, it's gorgeous outside. So it could have been she didn't hear her, but you can tell that in Britt's face that she felt slighted, and she felt a little slighted. And so Kelly says to Kenya, nice to meet you. They exchanged names, and then Britt introduced herself, and Kenya says, oh, it's nice to meet you. Kenya also tells them how beautiful they all look. And then Kenya asks, where was Shamia? They're like, I think she's still getting ready. Kenya asks, well, where's Portia? And then she's like, so we get a flashback of Portia. We get not a flashback, we get a flash of Portia with the same, when I tell y'all, when they show her, she was still the same. There was no different glam yet. And I was like, I hope this is just for TV. But she looked the exact same she looked when she was on the phone with Cynthia. And that was earlier. So anyway, there was no more glam. Okay, so and so the last time they spoke to her, that was 6:15. Okay, and like I said, it could have been production with the making it look like she wasn't ready. But at 6:15, when they showed her, it looked like she wasn't ready, nowhere near ready. Anyway, somebody asked Kenya, was she divorced? And I feel like it was either Britt or Kelly. I'm not sure which one it was. And so she said, unfortunately, they're not divorced. Britt points out, they're not. Unfortunately, they're not yet. Okay. Britt points out that Kenya is going through a divorce, Drew is going through a divorce, Kelly is going through a divorce, and now Portia is going through a divorce. And so Kenya points out that, so Britt, you're married? Because she's holding her drink and she got her ring on. And so she's like, oh yeah, you're married. And she's like, oh wait, you don't have the other ring on. So for people that are married, there's two rings. Usually there's two separate rings. Usually you get the one solitaire, and then on wedding day you get the married band, the flatter band. And that one comes first, and then the one you got engaged, because the marriage band is supposed to be closer to your heart. Okay, so that's just marriage ring 101, just to let y'all know. So anyway, Um, so uh Brit, right? Brit. So Brit has one big 10 carat ring because her husband upgraded her ring already. I don't know how long they've been married yet, but she got one solitaire big 10 carat. So with that kind of ring, you would have to get something made to go around that big carat. But okay, that's just I'm just saying. So anyway, um, what I put, so Britt has a beautiful, I told y'all the 10 carat ring, and so Britt is wearing her upgraded ring. So she would say that's her second wedding ring. Kenya says, "Oh, this is your second husband?" Britt is like, "No, this is my upgrade from my first wedding set." And Angela, and then by that time, Angela walks up, and she, remember she went to go fix her stuff, her edges and stuff. So she joins the girls and was introduced to Kenya, and now it's time for the interest of the beautiful Shamia in her royal blue. The dress was so pretty. It was given old school holiday. I mean, excuse me, it was given old school Hollywood. She was like cascading down the stairs until she started twerking. But okay, it was still giving Hollywood glam. I mean, something out of like Harlem Nights, but in color. And so she comes down the stairs. She thanks her husband. He gives me that he's kind of shy and a kind of reserved, like, and don't want the spotlight on him. But anyway, Shamia is so happy that all her friends and family are all in the same area celebrating her birthday. I told you guys it's her 42nd birthday. Um, but she can't help but to notice that her BFF has not arrived. And at this time, it is 7:10. Okay. And the last time we checked with Portia, it was 6:15. So no one's talked to her. Shamia says she's probably on her way. Britt says, "Hmm, that's weird that she would show up after your entrance." And Shamia probably agreed, but instead she didn't say anything. She says, it's time to go take some shots. So Britt tells Kelly she that Kenya was standoffish to her. Kelly agrees. Britt felt away when Kenya asked about her wedding ring. Britt says the young she's the youngest of three girls. She got two sisters. She's the youngest, so she can tell if somebody's hating on her, side eyeing her, or trying to come for her. She was like, yeah, it was a little nice, nasty. Kelly is still looking for the food, child. She's starving. The girl, she's in the food, so she wants food. The ladies were sitting down in one of the many beautiful rooms in Shamia's home when she is asked to go outside for a surprise. Everyone is outside. Shamia gives her husband some kisses, and he says, "Happy birthday, babe," and she pulls off this cover off this beautiful Rolls Royce Cullinan. I think that's how you said it. If I said it wrong, girl, because it's all out my pay league, girl. Stop. $430,000 worth of car. I ain't got $430,000 worth of home. Okay, though. Beautiful car. It's actually a truck. Shamia is excited. She's jumping up and down. Everyone is excited for her. Uh, she's taking pictures. She's twerking all over it. All the ladies is eating their hearts out in a good way. Shamia gets in the front seat of her car, her truck. Her husband's conveniently gets in the back seat, so when you look in there, you can see both of them. And so they're both in the car. And like she's in her moment. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, literally in her moment. When guess who wants to walk up? I know y'all tell me in the comments. I know y'all let me know. Yeah, her BFF walked up while she was in this moment of getting her car or truck, her RR truck, right? And so she walks up the driveway, and literally Shamia is uh literally telling all her guests who were on time, I got the stars, y'all. I see stars. And she's sitting she goes to sit back down in the truck, because we all know that the Rolls Royces have stars on the ceilings. But anyway, um, she got interrupted. Portia walked up on her and was like, "Hey." And everybody was just like, if she don't move away from the car, step away from the car. Like, step away from the car. Y'all, you do see these flashes. You do see everybody over there when you walk up opposite of where you're standing. So Portia, I ain't gonna say she ruined her moment, but she literally should have walked around and just, like, actually Kelly said it best. Kelly said if it was her in her confessional, Kelly said if it was her best friend would have better had walked around and got in the crowd or in the audience like you had been there for a minute right before I got in and saw all of it, right? And I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. So um yeah, everybody could see that she kind of took away from the moment. Uh so Portia, to me, she always makes it about herself. And she was like, "Oh yeah, that's my big dog," talking to Gerald. "That's right, big dog. That's right. You my dog." I was like, "Girl, shut up." And so Gerald now is in the front seat with Shamia. And they're both in the front seat. And so Portia's like, y'all ain't leaving, are you? Shamia's like, you were late. I was like, mm. And so then we get Shamia in her confessional. She's like, Shamia's like, "I'm a fan of letting everybody's light shine. However, in this moment, to the left." And I told y'all earlier how this fool likes to do drama. And so she's like making this face. Like, and then she was like, "Nah, I'm just that." She was like, "No, it's just a little light shade." But I was like, "No, that light shade carries some heavy truth." Some heavy truth, okay? Let's be clear. So Shamia is ready to change, of course. And so Portia is right behind her, trying to make up for lost times of the day. Um, and so they close the closet door, but they're mic'd up. So um, she lets her know that she was really sorry for being late, Portia. And all Shamia can say is there's nothing she could do about it now. So, and I was thinking in that moment, I don't feel like Portia gave a F like about Shamia's feelings. Maybe they shortened it. Maybe we didn't get the full apology, but I felt like the apology was too short for her to give it to her. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't see no gift in her hand either. But anyway, Cynthia and Kenya are admiring the Versace wallpaper that's on one of Shamia's beautiful walls. And Kenya catches Cynthia catches Kenya up about Shamia, Britt, and Kelly going out, and Kelly saying, "Shamia, why did Portia take that lady's man?" Kenya responds, "You better hide your husbands, you better hide your wives." And she laughed it off, and Cynthia didn't. She didn't find it that funny. I don't know. I don't know if she wanted her to be serious in that moment. I don't know. It just was a little kind of uncomfortable for me. Cynthia didn't find it funny, like I said. And I was thinking, Kenya finally got some shade. She finally said something shady because she hadn't said nothing shady through this whole episode. Cynthia says Kelly felt the way that Shamia went back and told Portia. Um, Kenya's just like confused because she does know that Shamia and Portia are tight, so that's weird. Shamia had changed into this beautiful gold gown. Oh my God, it was so pretty. She just looks so good. I mean, that girl can dress. That girl is pretty. Oh my gosh. She literally looks like a black baby doll, just a pretty brown, black baby doll. Beautiful. The ladies are taking pictures with Shamia when she came down in her gold dress. And so Britt asked Kenya after they finished taking pictures, she says to Kenya, can I get a hug? Because I saw how you had greeted me. Kenya was like, how did I greet you? I didn't hug anybody. And she said, yes. And then she was like, oh, I did. I hugged Cynthia. And she was like, but Cynthia's like my best friend. So Kenya was like, you know what? Let me escort y'all over to this other room because they had just been taking pictures. It's loud in that room. So Kenya escorts Britt and Kelly over to another room, and as she got Britt by the hand, she tells Britt, y'all are already causing trouble. Britt is like, we're causing trouble. So Kenya tells Kelly, I talked to Cynthia, and Kenya wanted to know. Kelly, she talked to Cynthia, and Kenya says, I wanted to know, why were you upset with Shamia taking information back to Portia? Kelly reiterates, I just asked, why did Portia take that man's husband? And that's how she said it, y'all. She didn't say the lady's husband. I rewound it. I rewound it. And I was like, she said, why did that lady take that man's husband? But what she meant was, why did she take the lady's husband? Britt says, well, we have to address the elephant in the room. And of course, conveniently, Portia walks up. Portia hugs Angela. She hugs Britt and says, how are you? Portia and Kenya air kiss. And both sides. And then she actually air kisses Kelly on one side and says, nice to meet you. They inform Portia that she caught them right in the middle of a chat. Kelly says, so my question was, why did she, talking to Portia, why did you take that woman's husband? Portia hit her with, what's your name again? She said, this is my first time meeting you. Is there anything else you would like to know besides that? Like, what's your last name? I'm thinking, Portia, that's not, we know your last name is Williams Bookie, but okay. She was like, or where are you from? Again, we know you from Georgia. Kelly stayed 10 toes down and said, you still didn't answer the question. By this time, Drew and Shamia have sat down next to Kelly. Kelly said, you still haven't answered the question. Portia said, I don't want to talk to you anymore. She said, well, answer the question. Portia said, I don't even know you. Kelly said, you don't know me? You spoke on me. Meaning, remember when she was on that when I ain't gonna say podcast, but whatever social platform, she was talking about that girl Kels, that girl Kels in her restaurant. So Portia hit her back though. She was like, girl, you a perfect stranger. I was like, oh, perfect stranger. Britt tries to, come to Kelly's defense and says, Kelly is really a sweet girl. It was more, now she's whispering or talking to Portia because she's sitting closest to Portia. She's like, it was more that she was just trying to address the elephant in the room. Britt says she wasn't trying to be aggressive. She says she don't, so Portia's like, I don't care. That's okay. Drew was lost. Drew was like, what's going on? I can't really hear. What are y'all talking about? She's trying to figure out what's going on. So so Drew says, can we go somewhere, less noisy so we can talk. So they all get up to go. And before they walk off, Brittany asks Kelly, is she good? Kelly says, I'm always good. And then in the confessional, Kelly says, she's a woman who stands on business. And if a woman can't stand on what they are doing or what they've said, they're a joke to her. And just answer the damn question and move forward. And I'm still waiting. I was like, oh my God, okay, you coming in like super hot, mama. you you going, huh? Okay. I ain't mad at it. Do your thing. So they all get on an elevator and move to another beautiful room in Shamia's beautiful mansion. Okay. Once again, I keep saying that because every glance, every look in this room that they go in was gorgeous. Oh my gosh, just a girly, beautiful, almost like a lounge. It was gorgeous, y'all. So go to another room. Shamia says to Drew, she didn't get invited to her birthday party. Drew said, no one got invited to my birthday party. Portia says, I got an invite to your birthday party. Drew says, but you didn't even come. Portia says, Dennis invited me to your birthday party. Kenya says, how did Dennis invite someone to your birthday party? Talking to Drew. Drew says, it was a surprise for me, for her. You know, it was a surprise for me. So she didn't know anything, but she did send her assistant everyone's number, but that he didn't invite anyone. That's strange. But okay. Portia said, who's your assistant, Dennis? I was like, y'all crazy. So Shamia straight out asked Drew, are you dating Dennis? And Drew was like, what? And that's how they ended it, y'all. To be continued, okay? That is the conclusion of episode 1, my loves, literally. And I know I probably held y'all a little too long, but it's okay. It was just I had to, because I had a lot of breaking down I had to do with these lovely ladies. And so, yeah, y'all, this is how it ended. If I was rating this episode, I would rate this a 7.5. I probably would give it a 7.5. I literally was like, I was engaged. I had a good time. I was entertained. It was some things going on. Like I said, they going back to the old formula, which I love. And yeah, I wasn't disappointed. I'm gonna say that my disappointment did come from they wasn't able to hold Portia's feet to the fire. I think that they tried to skedaddle right on past it when they made Portia, gave Portia the beginning package, where I think that's what they call it. But she was the first one to talk on the show, on this episode. And so I feel like um, they was trying to soften it a little bit, but literally you've been gone 3 years and girl, we want to know. Quit playing with us. I also wanted, before we leave, I also wanted to tell you guys that on Watch What Happened Live, Portia and Law Roach was on there. And just a couple of things. Andy asked Portia what was her reaction to Kelly uh, once, what was her reaction to Kelly? Uh, one, and coming in hot, one, and then two, what did she think when Kelly said you shouldn't have taken some Simon from his ex? Portia responds and said she felt like she was having a moment, talking about she was reaching for it. She said she had been away for 3 years, so it was very shocking for her to ask the question that everybody else wanted to know. That's in my words, that everybody else wanted to know. She didn't say the part. I'm saying that part. I'm like, yeah, get out of here, Portia. What are you talking about? That's not coming in hot. Talking about she coming in on the deep end. No, she's coming in on some girl. What happened with you? What happened with you and your ex or your soon-to-be ex? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So of course, big cheesy smile, Portia, smiling, and it was like, she did what, what she say? I was like, what she did was okay, but she may not. Oh, wait. She smiled and cheese, and like what she did was okay, but she may not like Drew doing music with Dennis. Make it make sense. I don't know if I make it make sense for y'all, but literally, if we having a problem with her going out or doing anything with Dennis, which is really about music, how dare you be mad about that when you literally was in Fallon's face? I'm just saying. So yeah, we just waiting on Portia to tell us and give us how she really felt, what was the real timeline, and does she regret anything? That's all we want. That's all we really want to know. But anyway, Portia says that she thought that Shamia had her back. This is what she said to Andy. Law Roach begs to differ. He thinks that Shamia did not have her back, and he asked about Portia being late. Oh, so Andy asked about Portia being late to Shamia's birthday party. Her response to that was being late to any parties or any gatherings on any of these housewife shows is a thing, but at the same time, it's it's it was at the same time when Simon had put the cease and desist on her filming at the home. So she said she had to be all the way in Duluth, which is far, y'all. She was all the way in Duluth, and so which took her further out. And so it was raining, and she's not trying to make no excuses. But Andy asked her the question. Portia's current status is she's still married. She says that the process stopped because he was detained in Georgia. We all know that. They was trying to say that she called ICE on this dude, and she denied that. That's allegedly, but she denied that. And so she said that the straw that brought the camel back was the betrayal of Simon. And she thinks that she wanted more. No, she said she wanted more. She didn't think she wanted more, and she should be able to say that. She says her and Dennis have a great co-parent relationship. She says it's always good when she's single, but she says she'll see how it is, how it goes if she gets with someone. Andy said that while Portia was gone from the show, that her and Drew were like running buddies. Portia says we were more like work buddies, but she always root for Drew because she's the underdog. Portia said that she could bring back any ex. I'm sorry. Andy asked her if Portia could bring back any ex-housewife, which one would it be? This goofball said Kim Zolciak. Girl, Kim Zolciak didn't even want to be with us. She didn't even want to be on there. If you go back in your history and go find out what Kim has done to some of the housewives. I mean, we've done stuff to her too. And I say we like I'm a housewife, but they've done stuff to her too. But yeah, hers was a little, don't bring her back. You could have said somebody else. Shut that down. Even Andy was like, what? So yeah, yo, that's my time. Cutie Click. I appreciate you guys coming and joining me on this good review, y'all. Like I had a really, really good time. I know it ran a little long. I will be reviewing the Housewives Sweet 16 season. It looks like we're in for some surprises, some things, and I'm here for it. Drop me a comment and let me know, or if you have anything to go against or agree with anything that I said, let me know. Drop me a little comment. Let me know what you think, what what it was, what it's gonna be. Yeah, but I hope you guys had a good time. I really had a good time. So until next time, all right, you guys know, take care of the business, y'all. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, hit the notification bell, and make sure that it's on all because that's how you'll get when I drop the new content. I'm sorry, I'm looking for my outro. Which outro do I want to play? But yeah, I'm gonna literally need y'all to do all the things, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, great rest of your evening, whichever it is. Just have a great one. Okay, I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye, guys. I love haters. I love haters.